That's frustrating. Alright, I should be back. Not on the same video, of course, which is, again, frustrating. Not doing the intro. I'm not doing any of this. It's part two of a stream that got knocked out due to power. If folks are curious why this is starting abnormally, let's just say. I don't know how long it'll last again either. My guess is my area is transitioning to 100% daytime solar power during the next couple months, and so I'm guessing that's what's happening right now. I think it's a little ambitious, and I'm going to be dealing with a lot of brownouts. Howdy, Scott. Yeah, power outage knocked out what I was doing, so the whole rhythm's destroyed. It's kind of annoying. But I'm back finally. It took, fucking 20 minutes or something. They're just shutting it off for a short period of time and then they'll turn it back on, but it is still really damn annoying. I want to give it a minute or two in case anybody else who was watching wants to come back in, but I probably lost most of those folks due to that power outage, which is annoying. And again, I had a rhythm going. We were just starting the second part of that rhythm. Annoying. Very, 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 very annoying. Let me go to my channel, and then I'm gonna go ahead and share this one. Yeah, because I only got a half hour out of that last one. That's annoying. All right, all right. You need a recap? Half hour stream on the channel before this. No, I'm kidding. Um, oh God. Okay. Um, it's very hard to recap. Just like it's gonna be hard to restart the rhythm. Let me go ahead and share this first, Scott, and then maybe I can put my head together enough to. All right, there we go. I do live so. My area is switching to 100% daytime solar over the next couple months. Like they're super proud of it. It's going to lower energy costs. All this. Um, I don't know if it's going to be as stable of a power grid, to say the least. Right. So that's part of it. So it just knocked out for about 20 minutes. Super fun, especially when I'm in a rhythm and I'm figuring out something, and I was literally just transitioning to the next part of this. Right. That's fun. But thanks for coming back, Mr. Shimeli. Scott K was saying I need a recap, so I'll do my best to recap, Scott. I'm glad I caught you somewhere. So there's a video by Lizbar, which I hope is still up, but he might have been smart and been like, oh well, he's down. I should probably bring that. I should probably take that back into private because it shows too much of Rags 8, um, which is fair, like no question. Um, he had no idea that a shadowy glimpse of his hand could destroy my internet connection. Wasn't just my internet connection, Lizbar, if you found joy. All right, there you go. What did I miss? Cody's booger, break the stream. Yeah, you could say that. No, it was either Bar's hand, as he's claiming. It could have been my booger, I guess. Or honestly, what it was is, and I'll say it again, my area is transitioning to 100% daytime solar in the next few months. So either they're disconnecting to reconnect up to another bit of infrastructure, right? Or um, it's like almost there, and the grid is far less stable, which is what I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's one of those two. So yeah, all my power went out. It actually went out earlier this morning too when I woke up. I was very hopeful I could I could get this done anyway, and so we're still trying to, but yeah, it's annoying. So Scott, I still haven't recapped. So gratitude is what I started off on. Hopefully, then I kind of talked about a little bit about like the logistics of Jack Irons and how the sausage is made on my end, right? both financially and just like the hurdles. And then we went to this wonderful video, at least intro from Eliza Barr. That was as a backer and a longtime supporter and just a smart cat. He had some things to say on the campaign, and you know what? I appreciate those things, and I was talking about those things, and I hope that kind of addresses it. We had started off with cutting costs, like so. You know, there's a celebratory air when an underdog wins, and I love it. You folks love it. All of us love it, right? And I had mentioned, and I'll mention again, the problem with that is, though, an underdog, it tends to be an underdog for one reason or another. And one of those reasons that I brought up could be incompetence. And so, there is a problem when something so good and so cool has to be drug across the line in the final hour, right? Like, it's a beautiful thing, it's a wonderful thing, it's a very cool thing. I'm exceedingly grateful for it. But as a backer and somebody who wants to see a series like succeed and continue to put things out, it's troublesome. Like, it's amazing, but it's like you got to look at it and be like, well, right? And so that's kind of the angles we were addressing. And so I'm going to get back to that video in case it's not down again. And we'll talk about the next part. Welcome back to our talk. So yeah, we're going to be more of that comparison you didn't want to see. But to be fair, these are points, right? Like, I get it. And I agree with you what you said on the last stream is that, like, what works for me or for you or for anybody else isn't going to work for anybody else directly. But there are things to learn. There are always things to learn. So let me go ahead and see if that video is still up. Where is display capture? It should be easier to find by then. I really need to set up that voice bot so I can say display capture. Boom, it's on. Where are you? How am I not seeing it? There it is. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Here we go. It isn't. I'm very proud of what you're able to do for cutting those costs. Oh, by far. Yeah, here we go. Oh. Okay, okay. Cool. Thank you. John Talk. Like, a lot of people just let me seem like an idiot. Everything reset, right? When my hi kid, I'm sorry. I know you just want to say hi. I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything reset, right? So I didn't. Yeah, we're good. Like, my stream bot isn't live either right now, which is kind of important. Okay, kid. Oh, okay. Well, we're just watching this anyway. So let me. So this should work. Here you go. Got audio?
Let me find.
There we go.
Here we go. Well, that's the webtoon. Here we go.
I can't.
I want the Kickstarter. I guess I want the Kickstarter. You know, this is what you got to do, Cody. Tyler here went from like having nothing. You know, he had the failed chef's campaign that he canceled because his heart just wasn't in it or whatever. He's got a
Or whatever.
Patreon where he does stuff and all that. But you know what? He did this thing. He got $8,000. Boom, 200-page book.
Yeah, I actually
Sells
can't
the
fund
thing
the art
like
for
15
Jack
bucks a
Irons
copy.
on $8,000.
Like, this is not that much money.
Can't be done.
In fact, I think that's like what the single issue. No, that's cheaper than the single issue of Jack Irons #4. Dude, you got to get your costs down, Cody. Funded in 15 minutes. So you got a couple of choices. You can either
It's 8,500 at bare minimum right now, and honestly, that's with Steve taking a page cut.
You can keep doing this and playing risky and playing loose and fast and danger with everything. You can do that, Cody. You ain't gonna like it, bro.
Oh, I don't like it. To be
That's
honest,
the most
like the glory. Yes, exactly. It's the most stressful way.
I know you're kind of banking on the Patreon thing too.
A little bit.
Oh man, if I get Patreon money, I can do this more regularly. But you know what? That only works if you have regular content updates.
Yes.
And that means you got to have a steady stream of. Let's turn the camera back on for this. You have to have a steady stream of new covers. You have to have a
I
steady
don't like
stream of like
covers.
new material,
New
pinups,
material,
whatever.
yes.
Stream of videos, and I don't mean like you playing a video
Yes,
game
this is
video.
fair. This is fair.
That's fine and that's cool and all. That's not why people are backing your Patreon
Bingo.
about comic books.
No, it's
Let me get
true.
a different book
This is
here so
true.
you can check that out. Ooh, it's nice and dark. You can't see anything. Perfect. You got to have a steady stream of what people are paying for.
Yes.
And people are paying for behind the scenes stuff. So Cody writes, since you're not an artist.
I've tried
dude,
that. Nobody has
you
any
somehow
interest
get,
in
like,
that.
Art
That's
for
what
your
sucks.
artist or whatever, and you can like fawn over one page at a time or something.
That
You
I
gotta
could
create
probably
content
do.
that's based like that.
But the
And again,
writing
if you just
stuff,
release
that
it all
nobody
on
cares about
YouTube
writing
anyway,
streams. I'm
it's
sorry,
not
but nobody
Patreon
does.
content.
Nobody cared about
I
like
know that's
exclusive
like how
short
you're rolling,
stories
bro.
either.
Because I remember
People
you
want
talked on
pretty
one of your
pictures.
streams. Hey,
If you're in comics, which yeah, it's how it
hey,
goes.
I gotta go put in like 20 videos on Patreon. Why?
Many of
Why do
those
you
were
have to do
actually
20 videos on Patreon?
trailers, Mr.
No,
Lesbar,
if
this
people want
time.
to
I
see
think
that,
that
they
is
subscribe
valid
on YouTube.
content.
People are on your Patreon because they want to see Jack Iron stuff.
And
They want to
that's
see what you're
trailers, to be
creating.
fair.
You got to give the people what they want.
That is true, though, and that's the thing.
So I would tell you, Cody, and I'm telling you right now, you got a couple choices. You can drop
Yes.
your ambitious goal.
That
You
would
try
I
to
can
find
cut
books for
by
less.
cutting the pages.
And that would be like the most practical solution from a perspective of getting it funded and building
Yes.
your audience. Because you're out there, you're telling people, yo, I got my book, this is what it costs, all that kind of stuff, and that's cool and that's fine. And I don't think there is anybody out there that's going to fault you for doing that. Now, it does mean that you're going to eat some costs.
That's
You're gonna eat
yes,
some
you're right,
finances.
Mrs. H. You are correct.
You got to come up with
I
money
do eat
in
costs.
some other way.
I do.
And I don't think you really have that.
And he's not wrong. I don't.
So, option 2.
I don't. I
You gotta
can't
do
like
promo
put more
the
into
way
it than
you
I am
don't wanna
already.
do
Like I
promo.
could survive. Then there's this, yes. Which I did
Yeah,
this
you
campaign.
heard me. That means that you got to show up on
You'll just-
streams that actually matter. Like,
That
I
is a
appreciate you
problem.
coming in and having that like great 3-hour interview or whatever it was that we did. That was very silly and a lot of fun, and was kind of a free-ranging discussion. Like, you know, I'm a miniature poor Joe Rogan, and you're, Elon Musk or whatever. Buzzwords. We are now fully demonetized
Fully.
for mentioning the
Fully.
two.
Well, now it's
unforgivable
two streams
people.
that demonetize.
My point, the point to that statement is you got to be able to go out there and get to places that actually matter for the
All right. So let's address that. The two biggest streams I was able to hit this campaign, and I did hit many streams, and many streams that I would not have chosen to hit otherwise, right? Like if I wasn't doing a campaign, I wouldn't just show up there, right? Which is kind of what he's talking about. But two of the streams that the two biggest streams that I hit, and between them, I maybe got 15 backers, were Michael Bancroft and Dan Fan. Those were the biggest streams I was able to get on. Malin and Skyver, for instance, as far as I'm aware, I'm untouchable. I am persona non grata on the higher echelons of CG, if that's what he's talking about, right? And there is no other comic book live stream infrastructure that I'm aware of. There are many little shows that fly their own flag, but there is no other infrastructure, mainstream or anything that supports indie content to the level that CG does from those perspectives. And so it would be great, I would have no problem at this point getting on larger shows like that. And the problem is, I think that ship has long since sailed. These people are aware of me. They are aware of the work. And I have, again, go watch What You're Reading 12. Skyver does not like me. And so, at the end of the day, like, that infrastructure is closed off to me. So I have to build my own, which I try very hard to do, and we've succeeded so far. Or I have to discover other infrastructure that I am completely unaware of. And I have my ear pretty low to the ground on indie comics in general, so I would think I'd know of it if it existed. There are a couple other places I could have visited. There's a couple Douglas Ernst was a big is a big supporter, which I'm so grateful for. I could have hit his channel. It would have been a little bit better. I could have asked that. Um, I know Eric Canetti actually went out of his way to support our work as well. Like that spectrum of iconic comics has been quite kind. That could be helpful. Um, last campaign, I was, and not last campaign, last Indiegogo campaign, I was struggling quite a bit. And so I asked for help from the other parts of Iconic Comics, and that did not go through. It was addressed as politely as possible, but it was basically a no. So, uh, when somebody does that, my guess is like there's some spectrums like that I'm tolerated, right? Um, and I'm fine with that. They've been amazing. Like I've gotten wonderful. Like there's some amazing gifts that have been given even from that spectrum, but the live stream end of it, it seems like tolerated. Um, so from there, like I don't know, right? I really don't know. I've reached out. Like Dan Fan was like a crazy. It's like, well, she might be doing this, so I'll try that. Bancroft, he's been a supporter, and it lucked out that the timing was with a big CG controversy. So we got a lot of eyes there, but I think that also kind of overshowed the campaign that I was doing. I'm pretty sure uh, the other book that was being talked about got much more attention than my own, but at the same time, like I think I wouldn't have gotten enough eyes to begin with on my specific work to begin with, if it wasn't for that. So like that wasn't much of a factor. Um, and so otherwise, like I don't know the live stream thing. Like I don't know. Um, I just really don't. I don't know. But I did drop the ball in a couple specific cases that I could have tried harder, and I still can now, which is nice. So I might actually do that. But the larger crowdfunding